Namaste, beloveds. This is Motherhood Wisdom. This is the continuation of the end of August full moon reading. It is what it is. It's been a long one, and Mama has me doing it this way. So let's just keep moving forward with it. I'm sorry, my computer is acting goofy. This is the card. This is the Queen of Heaven, blessings from the Divine Empress of the Skies. And let's just get into it. $139, which is 13 again, which is a 4. Okay. Blessing from the Divine Empress of the Skies. The Queen of Heaven, the Divine Empress of the Skies, acknowledges your feminine authority now as a man or a woman. You have a life path of spiritual leadership to bring qualities of mercy, compassion, and wisdom into the world. The Oracle of the Queen of Heaven is a confirmation of your feminine leadership and spiritual authority, whether in male or female body this lifetime. Isis means throne, and in her presence and blessing, as Divine Empress of the Skies, she offers initiates of the light, men and women, great feminine spiritual power. Feminine spiritual authority occurs when power is tempered with mercy, wisdom, compassion, and love. It is inspired spiritual leadership through the heart and a model of power and authority that is based in empowerment rather than force or control. Isis, Queen of Heaven, calls you to ascend to the throne of feminine leadership within your own being, that you may fulfill your life mission and serve the divine feminine on this planet from a place of inner spiritual authority. This oracle is confirmation to step forward in leadership if you have been considering doing so. It might be a connection with others, especially if you also drew the card of divine sisterhood. But you are also to realize that you are a capable spiritual leader in your own right, as you trust in the divine feminine values within. This new model of power is not about assuming authority over another, but about living your truth and integrity and leading from authentic example. There is great power here and no false sense of responsibility for another which could drain you and create dependence. Woo, let me get this going because it's excuse me. Okay. Excuse me. I'm getting cold again. Excuse me. I am listening to these now as I know that I am entering a phase or cycle where my body is going to be able to be more sensitive to taking temperatures. I'll put it that way. So I'm going through this little thing, but it is what it is, and I'm good. Let me just finish that last line again. This new model of power is not about assuming authority over another, but about living your truth and integrity and leading by authentic example. There is great power here and no false sense of responsibility for another, which could drain you and create dependency rather than growth in those you seek to empower through your leadership. I have to read this again because, again, it came out shaky. There is something. Okay. Grounding, 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 centering, 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 focusing. There is great power here and no false sense of responsibility for another, which could drain you and create dependency rather than growth in those you seek to empower through your leadership. You are encouraged to contemplate how you might step more fully into your own authority. Often this requires that we make peace with the authority figure in our lives, past, present, and future, past and present, and how we experience those relationships, whether as supportive, truthful, and empowering, or as a disempowering, shaming, or perhaps minimizing or inflating of our sense of grandiosity. I'm going to repeat that because that has such an impact if you really allow yourself to hear it. It has, excuse me, has amazing properties. You are encouraged to contemplate how you might step more fully into your own authority. Often this requires that we make peace with the authority figures in our lives, past and present. And I am being told, and how we have experienced those relationships. I am being told that those authority figures could be teachers, they could be parents, they could be partners in a relationship, they could be friends, anyone that you deem to be, that you gave your power to, that you said, you know more than me, you're stronger than me, you're better than me, you're this than me, you're blah 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 blah. Whatever your words were that created that authority figure, that put them in power, in a place in the seat of power, you are being told to make peace with that authority figure. I've spoken of my mother a lot. That was one of my authority figures that I had the most conflict with. And I have made peace with that. And I can feel energetically that we are in a much better place. Healing that I have allowed to take place through me has reached her on the other side. And she has sent some beautiful energy my way, some beautiful guides my way, some beautiful lessons my way. And I am most appreciative of them. And I'm most appreciative for the work that I put in to receive those blessings. You got to put in the work, beloveds. Got to put in the work. And the work is not easy. That's standing in front of that Mack truck saying, come on, move me. Woo! Okay. Whether as supportive, truthful, or empowering, or as disempowering, shaming, or perhaps minimizing or inflating of our sense of grandiosity, healthy relationships with authority figures help us recognize where we can learn and perhaps be mentored by another, and where we too can help others learn and grow. And beloved, if we are going to move this planet forward, wow, Sorry. I just saw this tumbling again. Sorry. If we are going to move forward on the path that we are on at the moment, beloveds, we have got to look to put people in leadership positions who we trust, who we would trust with our child, who we would trust with ourselves butt naked. We have got to be able to trust the people that we put in leadership roles. If you do not trust them, how can you give them permission to lead you? They're going to lead you wherever they want. And if your instincts are already telling you, don't trust them fully, don't trust them, where you wind up is the bed that you made. So make the right decisions about healthy relationships. If they are unhealthy, let them go. That situation maybe just needs to mature, or is just, it served its purpose. It was a stepping stone for you. Whatever it is, honor it and let it go. Okay. Through the eyes of the divine feminine, authority is not a question of hierarchy. And I'm going to say this, I'm going to put this out there. To female alphas and those masculine alphas whose feminine spirit is more dominant in them, authority is not a question of hierarchy. Is who ranks what. That don't get it for a real alpha female. Is not about your rank. Let's see what it say. With one more authoritative over another who has less authority. It is rather more like a circle of life where we all have different awareness, ability, and mastery to share with each other together, guiding each other into greater wholeness. Each of us with our own spiritual responsibility for our growth and our own capacity to help others to the degree that we are willing and able. Very powerful, beloveds. If you wish to serve, you must serve first yourself. You must know yourself. You must align yourself with your highest wisdom. And then you have to surrender that self that you begin to trust to another. And you have to trust the process and trust them with the handling of yourself, of this new self that you've given them. And if they don't know how to take care of this baby, this new self that you've given them, you have to take that baby back. You have to remove it from them, or they're going to hurt it. They may not mean to, but they're going to hurt it because they don't know. You can't do what you don't know. And maybe they're not intuitively connective. And they don't want to hear you. Well, baby, you got to do it like, nah, you old woman, I don't want to hear what you got to say. You know, that y'all did it like that in caveman ages, but we do it like this now. Oh, you so removed from the caveman ages. People still going around here killing each other. Robbing, stealing, cheating, lying. But you so far removed. Okay. 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 When you get yourself spiritually where you don't want to fight somebody, where you don't want to kill somebody, where you don't want to taste their blood, where you don't want to see them foobarred, then you on the right path. Then you didn't grow up. Then you made it to the next step. You've graduated from that root to that sacral, and you're moving yourself up. You're ascending. You're no longer at that base level. Now you've got to integrate and rise up. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. Bring it up. You know, excuse me. Tupac always said, keep your head up. In order to keep your head up, you got to stop looking down. You got to stop feeling down. You got to know, keep that head up. Allow that violet flame to get in there. Got to keep it up for it to get in there. Okay, let me keep going. And I'm going to repeat this. It is rather more like a circle of life where we all have different awareness, ability, and mastery to share with each other, together guiding each other into greater wholeness. Each of us with our own spiritual responsibility for our growth and our own capacity to help others to the degree that we are willing and able. Making peace with authority figures, past and present, often involves pulling back the unconscious projection of our own authority, divinity, and strength upon those persons, seeing them as belonging to ourselves and allowing the other to be more human. If we involve recognizing the gifts and the human failings of the authority figure and within ourselves, in that moment, seeing the grace involved as two people with limited consciousness attempted a relationship. There will always be gifts and learning on both sides of the relationship. Allow the release of forgiveness that comes with compassion and the freedom that willingness to grow within brings, so that your relationship to authority within and externally can be healed and transformed. This is the ritual. Blessing from the divine empress of the skies. Sitting comfortably in a quiet space where you will not be disturbed, close your eyes and say aloud 3 times, I call upon Isis, who loves me unconditionally. I call upon you 3 times, beloved Nyxis, Empress and Queen of Heaven. Become aware of a ball of pure light above the crown of your head. This is the auric energy of the goddess Isis descending. Some of y'all will see that as the Holy Spirit. That's what it is. A little flame. Send love to that ball of light and watch it soften and grow as it begins to rain down light on your head. It's going to rain on your head. As it begins to rain down light on your head, filling your aura like a waterfall of light until you sense, intend, or feel it all around you, flowing. Relax into this flow of energy, feeling good. Say, I give thanks to this blessing, this anointment, to spiritual leadership, true and pure, given and received in unconditional love. Thank you to beloved Queen of Heaven, Isis, divine Empress of the skies, for your guidance and blessings as I ascend to the throne of spiritual truth within my own soul now. Imagine, perceive, or intend that you can send love up into that ball of light as it becomes a throne or majestic seat made out of light and love. Allow it to descend from the crown of your head until it rests as pure love in your heart. Feel the warmth, love, and fullness in your heart while the throne of light grows stronger as you allow yourself to become more aware of it within you. Gently touch your heart and say, I honor the spiritual authority that you possess. I listen to, value, and act on your truths. Thank you for your strength, wisdom, and love. Allow the light of Isis to continue to flow down through the crown of your head to your heart and out of your heart, pouring through it as pure love. Visualize and intend that this energy of love pour from your heart through time and space to any person or place, past or present, that holds any unresolved karmic energy as spiritual, psychological, emotional, or physical patterning in your being. This love will heal and free you from these old patterns that are not who you are in truth. Freely and generously send us as much love as you can to these patterns, releasing now. Honor them, honor them, honor them. Even though they were painful, honor them. Know that you will receive more liberation, freedom, healing, release, and empowerment as you send love. This came to me as I was saying that, beloved. When indigenous ones take life, they kill an animal to eat. They honor the spirit of that animal. They let the spirit of that animal know that they know that they took its life, but they are honoring its spirit. And they are going to use its life force and its spirit energy to keep them going in the circle of life. That is the honoring of what we had to kill. If you had to kill a part of yourself, if you had to kill a relationship, or if someone left and that part of you feels dead, or the relationship feels dead, or whatever is dead, honor it, grieve, allow the processing of it, but then know that you need to let it go. Know that you need to let it go, and there will come a time when you will have to let it go, or you won't be able to evolve or grow more than where you are. You will stay in that shadowy place where all your skeletons and bones and bone songs are. But the vitalness, the vividness, the vitality is outside of that, is what you're doing with that sacred spirit, with that life force that you need to ingest, that you need to be fed by, that you need to digest. When you are ready, say, I now choose of my own free will to completely forgive, release, and grow beyond any old pattern within me that holds me back from the full experience of my divine inner authority now, through all time and space, with the loving grace of Isis supporting me now, so be it. I don't know if you've been following me lately on Facebook or not, but the Djed has been coming up, and DJED, the Djed, which is the backbone, which is the spine, which is where that Kundalini, um, fire, spiritual, Holy Spirit, graceful energy lies, that needs to be awakened, where that dragon is inside of you, where it was seated long ago. And you have to allow it to waken up. And when its authority is challenged, you're going to wake up. It's going to wake up within you. If that is who you are. If you have honored that part of yourself. If you know yourself to be a divine spiritual warrior, that part is going to come step forth. It has no choice. That's its nature. That's its purpose. That's its will. And it may have been holding itself back for a very, very long time because it felt you were not ready to honor it truthfully with all that it needs to be honored with. So it allowed you to go through certain circumstances and situations so that you could learn to trust your instincts. Trust it because it is your instincts. For me, when you hear me speaking of Tiamat, that is who I'm speaking of. This is the energy that has awakened inside of me. It is what it is, and I'm a changed being because of it. And I'm a very grateful changed being because of it. And I look forward to the unveiling and the unfolding more of this energy, this light within me to be able to shine outwardly. Okay. Take a full breath in and a full breath out, imagining you are breathing out of the heart, the healing love of Isis flowing powerfully with your breath. You may feel a release of energy from your heart or from some other part of your body as you do this. Just allow. Relax with your breath flowing naturally now. When you are ready, just open your eyes. Whether you feel a strong, energetic, or physical response or not does not determine the extent of the blessing. Some bodies recognize subtle energy freely. Others are still learning to do so. That's like that ear and the hair in your ears and the nose. It's for the vibrations. It's for the resonance. One time in our evolution, before we got to this part, so divorced from these gifts and senses, we knew what was coming by our senses, by the smell, by the ears, the vibrations. You look at a lot of native old movies and you will see them putting their hands on the earth or putting their ear to the earth because their senses let them know something's coming. And so, okay, something's coming. Let me listen to it. You follow the instructions, beloveds. This blessing is given according to need and grace. Some bodies recognize subtle energy freely. Others are still learning to do so. The blessing is given according to need and grace. Put the work in. It's yours. Have gratitude in your heart for what you have received. Is offered with wisdom, so that it shall serve your highest path. Incantation for blessings from the Queen of Heaven. You can add this incantation to the beginning of the ritual above, or use it as a tool on its own to solicit appropriate support for your spiritual leadership work on this planet, whether in an obvious form as a teacher or healer, or in the simple and very important, though perhaps less immediately obvious, ways of how you choose to live your life. Empress of the skies, Heavenly Queen, beloved Isis, my heart is keen, from darkness and fear to be released, to connect with your power in deepest peace. Bless me that this may be so. Let me start over because I'm distracted and I'm being told, you're distracted. Okay. Let me just turn it on. I'm being there. Okay. Empress of the skies, Heavenly Queen, beloved Isis, my heart is keen. From darkness and fear to be released, to connect with my prayer in deepest peace. Bless me that this may be so, in accordance with heaven's plan, that I grow. Beloved Queen, clothe me in your authority and light. I now claim my spiritual birthright. That's it, beloveds. 3020. 3025. That's going to do it for this card, and I'm going to do the last card, and then I will be done for the day. Yay! I love this. Notice, beloveds, notice, I'm looking for something to point with. Okay. Excuse me. Notice the labyrinth. Notice, excuse me, the more there we go. The more you call Isis in, the more you come out of this labyrinth that is in your head. That is your pattern that you have been going. That is your maze. You have to call her to get out of this. Okay? She will lead you out of this. And she will give you what you need so you no longer need to rely upon this to know yourself. You no longer will need these old patterns, these old ways, these old paths, these old passages that helped you to survive before. You are a new person. You are an initiate of Isis now. You have called her. You have welcomed her. Allow her to lift you up. To lift you up. Allow her into your heart. And if you don't know who she is, I advise you to do some research. And I advise you not to take everything you read literally. Learn to look at things metaphorically. Learn to look at things in a circular way that never ends. So I want you to look for Isis and Osiris and Horus within you and without you in this now moment. And once you're able to connect those dots, baby, it ain't nothing that can be hidden from you again. But you have to invest your time in what matters. You matter. Your spirit, your spiritual maturity matters. Your spiritual integrity matters. Your spiritual knowledge of yourself matters. If you have to gain the knowledge to act out and upon the wisdom of it. You have to give birth to it. But you've got to get the knowledge. And if that knowledge is inside of you, then go inside of you. Go meditate. Go be quiet. Ask what you need to be given to you, to be presented to you. If you don't have the money to go to seminars and retreats and spas and blah, 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 and take this course and that course, because a lot of us, that's not a reality for us. But you have the World Wide Web. Anything that you want, you can find. It's up to you. So no one can say, oh, I couldn't find that. I can't, I don't know. I didn't know, Lord. I didn't know. Lord's going to tell you, I gave you everything you needed. If you didn't know, you didn't want to know. And you're still responsible for not wanting to know. So you're wondering why your blessings ain't coming like you wanted them to, or you're not connecting with them the way you think you are. It's because you're not in alignment to receive them. You keep getting the signals and the signs and the dots of what you need to do, but you don't see them. You're blind because you're waiting on something from one of your patterns. You're waiting on a specific thing to present itself to you. Get in the flow of spirit. Spirit flows. Spirit is oceanic. In space oceanic, okay? It's that deep. And that's where you come from. That kind of depth, that kind of complexity, that kind of simplicity. And you got to know yourself, baby. You got to know yourself. And don't let nobody tell you who you are and who you are not. And don't let nobody take your voice or your spirit or your identity or any of that. Fight for yourself. You're worth it. You've got gods, goddesses, guides, spirits, angels, Tiamat. You'd be surprised what you have, what you contain within you. Tap into it. What you seek is within you. It's always been there. Each and every lifetime it's been there. And it knows. You just have to bring yourself to the right state of mind to receive it, to hold on to it. You know how, say your friend has just had a brand new newborn baby, is just minutes, seconds old. And she says, come on, you can hold her. You can hold the baby. And you're like, no, it's too little. She's too brand new. I might hurt her. I don't trust myself with something that small, something that fragile, something that new, something that alive, something that precious, something that innocent. I just look and see you hold her. I'm good. But one who has known and held many, let me hold that baby. And you know how to hold it. And there is no fear about you going to hurt it, or you going to hold it the wrong way, or you going to drop it, or any of that. That does not exist within you. Because you know how to hold this baby. You know what this baby is. We have got to find that precious baby within us. And we have got to learn how to hold it. How to feed it, how to care for it, how to sit it down when we need to, how to tell it, shut up. That's your ego. Not your spirit. We got to get there. Okay, that's going to do it for this one. I'm getting ready to do, like I said, the next and last one after this. And it is what it is, beloveds. And I am a grateful vessel. I am a humble vessel. And I am thankful for all the lessons. I'm thankful for the planets aligning. I'm thankful that we are all here at this moment. And may we come together more as a collective, spiritual collective, family, see each other, understand that each of us is wearing a diaper and we're all full of shit. And no one smells better than the other one. Okay? No one is wearing more prettier Pampers or diapers than the other one. There are no brand names. There's none of that. Everything is practical and full of mother wit and makes sense, is wisdom. Grasp a hold onto it and don't let go. That's that nipple you want. All right, beloveds, that's that.